What's good, YouTube? This video is about 10 things that guys do to gain leverage, or 10 signs you're dating a pickup artist. Before I start, I just want to say that this video isn't about all men. This is for users, man whores, and pickup artists. Some men may naturally have one or two of these habits, but a real player will exhibit most of this list. Men who sleep around know what they are doing, so it's your job to stop falling for this stuff. Jumping right into this list, number 1. They refuse to build a relationship over the phone. They insist that you go out, usually for drinks. That's because they could be trying to accelerate your physical comfort with them. That makes attaining sex easier. A guy who won't invest in conversation with you doesn't have any intentions on getting to know you. In order to get to know someone, you must learn about them. And in order to learn about them, you must converse. One of the first things that guys usually say is some variation of, "I want to get to know you better." Well, how the hell can he do that if he won't talk on the phone or engage in any consistent long-form text messaging? He can't. So make a man talk to you. Number 2, they refuse to make emotional connections or show any vulnerability. He may seem like he has the emotional depth of the Terminator. If you ask him, he doesn't have any emotions, and if you try to share yours, he rejects them or dismisses them. He also dodges any attempts that you make to confide in him. He doesn't care about listening to your problems or solving them. He also makes no attempt to protect you emotionally from his actions or lack of effort. Remember, when a man loves a woman, he feels responsible for her physical and emotional well-being. Some guys are detached naturally, but if you notice this sign, coupled with a few more signs on this list, you may be in some trouble because he may be actively avoiding making a connection with you. And that would be a good sign that he has no plans to care about you in the future. Moving on, number 3 on this list of 10 things that guys do to gain leverage is, they run roughshod over your boundaries while sticking very closely to their own. Mature men have standards for themselves and respect the standards of others. However, a womanizer or a pickup artist type gets all his power from creating a fear in his target of abandonment. Once they see a woman has a heightened level of interest, they bear down on their standards to control her actions and behavior. Women in these situations have to act right to keep his attention. He may completely disregard her standards, but she won't have enough courage to challenge him between acting right and being easy to deal with. Even though he may be rude, disorganized, unattentive, and sexually aggressive, if you can't make a date or refuse to get physical, he'll punish you with more detachment or space. With that said, the 4th sign on this list that you might be dating a pickup artist is, they don't respond to calls or text messages promptly or even at all sometimes. This is all about the excitement and stress of mystery. Obsession begins with thought. Pickup artists understand this. They know if they can make you wonder where he's at, what he's doing, who he's doing it with, that eventually emotions will accompany those thoughts. It makes you want to work harder to be more important to them and deserve a callback. Some girls will do anything to get their calls and texts answered more. This behavior makes you more willing to cross your own boundaries to get his attention. And men recognize when you accept this behavior from them that you are vulnerable and manipulatable. And they take full advantage. So with that said, the 5th thing that guys do to gain leverage in a new relationship is, they refuse to wine and dine you to prep you for a minimum effort. A lot of guys set the standards for themselves very low from the very beginning. Some will even refuse to take you on dates and try to meet you at one of your houses for the first date. This is a giant red flag. The home is an intimate space. Men invite you to their home for the first date because it's closer to a bed or a couch than a decent restaurant is. Never accept a first date or a hangout invitation at a guy's house unless you're okay with just being a casual hookup. Date rape is also a thing, ladies, so protect yourself. There are a plethora of reasons why you should be meeting a man in a crowded public space for your first date. You also don't want to meet a guy for drinks on the first date. Guys who try to get you inebriated on the first date only want to smash. They know that they have very little that they are either willing or capable of offering intellectually. So they want to get you buzzed to switch your focus from connecting to fun and frivolous banter. Moving on, the sixth thing that pickup artists do to gain leverage is they push the envelope sexually much earlier than they should. Why would a person be anxious or impatient about something if it wasn't their main focus? When you're hungry, you're anxious to eat. When you're at work, you're anxious to go on break. When a man's focus is sex, he is anxious to test your limits. So if I was you ladies, I wouldn't do anything but talk on the first date unless you're okay with adding a ghost to your body count. Not to mention, you don't know these guys. People are crazy. Crazy people exist. Protect yourselves. Moving on, number 7 on this list is they downplay how attracted to you they really are. Experienced players and pickup artists like to exploit a woman's need for validation. They don't really believe in complimenting women or doing anything that build their confidence. They don't give any indicators of attraction even when they are extremely attracted. The purpose of this is to keep a woman wondering if she's ever going to be good enough in his mind, if she's pretty or interesting enough. He may look like a foot, but she's the one growing more and more insecure every day because he refuses to validate her beauty or her value to him. Don't fall for this. If a man's dealing with you, it's because he thinks you're attractive. If he saw fit to introduce himself and get your number, it's because he thinks you're attractive. If he DMs you, he thinks you're attractive. Otherwise, he'd date, DM, or approach someone else. This act is used to switch the balance of power in his favor. That's it. With that said, number 8 on this list is they say little things that make you question your place with them or even give you light put downs. Pickup artists and players love to chisel away at a woman's confidence in order to control her and the access that she grants them to her body. For instance, a guy might make little comments here or there about how your personality is more attractive than your looks, insinuating that your looks may not be what you've been told by other guys. Or they may point out a physical flaw that you have when you appear to be feeling confident and good about yourself. Those many rejections cause you to be more receptive of his physical advancements because he's created a need in you to be validated for your beauty. Men know women need to feel wanted. They also know that if they strategically avoid validating a woman and give her a few light put downs here or there, even if she wanted more before, she will be relieved and excited for the opportunity to lay on her back and receive his validation. And some of y'all disgusted right now. I am too. I'm disgusted that it works. Moving on. Number 9 on this list. They act hot and cold on purpose. Cold emotionally and hot sexually. Again, this is about excitement and mystery and the hope that you overcompensate by trying to connect with them physically because you have caught feelings and are being deprived emotionally. They have made you feel like you don't even know if you're on your way in or out of their life at times. Women often think that they have turned a corner or consummated the beginning of something special with sex. That's usually because the guy hadn't shown much interest at all, but then all of a sudden one night he couldn't get enough of her. She wants to be gratified and validated, and she also wants to feel more secure in the relationship that she believes has started. This type of guy just wants someone to play with. Listen, if a guy is hot and cold emotionally and his effort is lackluster, don't try to connect with him using sex. You can't. Women confuse the word connection with the word crush far too often, and that confusion causes them a lot of pain. Wanting a connection and having a connection are two very different things, and you can be connected to him while he has no connection to you. So make sure the connection is mutual. Moving on. The 10th thing that guys do to gain leverage is they always leave after sex. And that's because they know if they stay, that you are more likely to feel like a relationship or something special is starting. As if what you did was a consummation of a new relationship or commitment. They may not want that responsibility, so they leave to subconsciously remind you that you guys are no couple. They also do it to make you more submissive and insecure. If they leave you wondering about if they had a good time or if it even meant anything to them, you're more likely to work harder chasing them, having lost the leverage that not having sex brings you. And some women are likely to do anything to salvage a situation just so that she doesn't feel used afterwards. That's because a woman always hopes that she made the right decision to sleep with a guy. There are millions of booty calls working very hard to keep that hope alive. Unfortunately, you can't F your way into a cold heart. Now listen, if you notice more than half of these signs with the guy you're dealing with, you may be in some trouble. And these types of men are garbage, but they only do it because this stuff works so well. If you want to defeat this, demand better treatment or move on. Practice positive reinforcement when guys exhibit behaviors that you are fond of, and stop having sex with sorry-ass men who don't love you. These types of men aren't usually known for their patience, so just make it clear with your actions and words that you require more. If done from the beginning, the vast majority will move on to easier targets. You can also share this video to help warn as many women as possible. Let's stop being victimized, let's stop complaining, and let's start protecting ourselves. Set your standards early, demand more, or move on. Anyway, I've said all I feel like saying. I'll get with y'all later.